Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? It is good to be back in town. I know I travel a lot, but I got a lot of work to do. This last trip was like half business, half pleasure. But I'm back in town for the next 10 days, and I intend to try to get as many videos as I can out in between there on the protocols that are doing really well. Now, I knew Carol was going to do well. That's why I jumped in. I don't know if you guys saw my last video. If not, it's definitely worth watching. It's over on Base Chain, and a lot of the stuff that's on Base Chain is really starting to take off. So I knew it was going to pop, but to be honest, I think it's doing better than expected. The token price is up. The liquidity, I think, has increased by like 35%, which is major, and they're starting to execute on their roadmap. If you guys have been in any crypto protocols, DeFi protocols over the last couple of years, you will know that a lot of devs come out with these elaborate roadmaps and then launch the protocol, and the protocol gets a bunch of money surged into the TVL, and they never really execute on the roadmap. Carol's really working different, like completely different. Carol actually launched about a month ago and was kind of a slow burner. Took on some TVL, kind of grew organically, started seeing a bunch of people make videos. Liquidity started to increase, and awareness started to increase. Now they're already starting to execute on those pieces of the roadmap that they said they would. Just this week, a bunch of stuff happened. They've been talking about doing a token burn. This week they burned 4 million tokens, which is super major. I know the original roadmap said that they were going to get on Debank, which sometimes can be tough to do, and they got on Debank. They've been saying they were going to do some big giveaways at Carol, and I think they shot 50,000 tokens out this week. And there's more stuff that they've been doing. That's just a few off the top of my head. Make sure to go out, and they're pretty active on Twitter, so go and check out their Twitter. I can't bring it up on my computer because for some reason I have 2 Twitter accounts somehow, and for whatever reason it won't let me log out on my computer of the one that I've never used and into the one that I actually use, so I actually have to check this on my phone. But anyway, I'll try to get that sorted out. For all of these reasons, everything's moving forward. I've decided to double my Carol position this week, and then I'm probably going to wait a week and double it again. Basically, I have several other protocols that are still paying out. I'm going to collect all the funds from those, transfer it over, and stuff it in here. So to sum it up, the protocol is doing really well. I'm excited about it. I'm dumping more money in. If you didn't watch my first video, it's important to probably do that, or I can give you a quick recap here. The first one's gonna have a little more step-by-step, but I think it's important to understand that this is on Base Chain. So Coinbase created their own chain, just like Binance created the Binance Smart Chain. And I think that's kind of amazing because Coinbase has a lot of users. I wanna say that they're the biggest in the US by far, even more than crypto.com. So they've got a big user base there that is kind of buy and hold crypto. Of course, they're a centralized exchange. So those are kind of your entry-level crypto users. We really need to branch some of those folks out over to the DeFi community so they start to understand smart contracts and how protocols work. And hopefully we'll get some more honest devs to put stuff together like this. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in my last video, but these devs, of course, built several other projects. And they built those on several different networks because I think the original one, I forget the original one, it's probably on Ethereum. I know they did one, I think, on Tron. They did one on the BNB Smart Chain. So they're really well versed in cross-chain functionality. And based on their previous success and really having no issues in the space as far as having any type of malicious intent, I think it's safe to say that this Carol's going to end up being a pretty good protocol. And the fact that it's a slow burner, I mean, I think in a way it's a really good thing. You see a lot of protocols come out and they put heavy marketing into it and the protocol blows up. I got $500,000 or $1 million in TVL within a few days. And we've seen plenty of instances where it ends up just being a pump and dump. There's some sort of exploit, or even if there isn't and it's a trusty protocol, everyone who got in early sees the TVL goes up and just starts to drain it as fast as they possibly can. So I think the slower growth is actually a little bit more sustainable. And I do think we're actually early on Carol. I think this one can stand the test of time. So we'll see how it goes. The protocol isn't too crazy in general. You've got to have the base chain in your wallet, so you can go to chainlist.org or any of the sites like that to be able to get the information, the RPC URL, all that type of stuff. So it's added to your wallet. Then what you can do is you can go buy ETH, transfer it over to the base chain, or if you've got BNB or really any other cryptocurrency, you can use changenow.io, which is what I use. Again, in my last video, I show you exactly how to do it. So if you're like, hey, this actually sounds pretty cool, I like a slow burner, I need something that's a little bit more trusted right now, as we all do, then go watch that video. I'll show you step by step how to get in. But you would use changenow.io to transfer whatever cryptocurrency that you currently have in your wallet, whether it's BNB or BUSD or Tron or whatever you have. Should be able to use changenow.io. You'll put whatever cryptocurrency you want in the top. In the bottom one you want to get, you could just type in Base, and that will give you the ETH on Base. Pick the wallet you want it transferred to, and then it will be in there. Once you have it, you will need to trade some of your ETH that you've got over for Carol. You just decide how much you want to spend. Then you click Get Tokens, and it will create the bond. As you can see, I just created one. It's right here, and this is the one that I'm going to create the LP from. Now, if you see more, show more, you'll see that I have my original deposit, and I staked the bond so I can earn some additional. I've been earning Carol, and what I've been doing is just bonding that Carol and putting it back in here. So instead of withdrawing any of my funds right now, which I will do soon, but not yet, I still want to build my position up, I am just collecting what I've earned, and I've been stuffing it over here and putting it in the bond. So this bad boy, when you purchase, it will bond it for 30 days. It will also give you an additional 30% on your tokens, so you get free money. If you make a deposit, if you decide to join the team and you make a deposit, there'll be like a link down below. If you make a deposit of at least 0.1 ETH, you are eligible to get a couple thousand free tokens. What you need to do is go into the Telegram. There'll be a link below, and you just said, hey, I just got in for at least 0.1 ETH. I jumped in on Scott's team, and then they will send an extra couple thousand tokens to your wallet. So pretty good deal in my opinion, free money, but you will have to message someone in the chat to be able to get that. Now, a couple of people have asked me, why do that? Why not just make it automatic? To be honest, it's probably because people will take advantage of the system. At least they can see it's like a new person. Let's say I signed up and then signed up 10 accounts underneath me and put 0.1 ETH in each. I technically, if it was automatic, would be eligible to get 2,000 tokens in each, and I think it would just drain the system. So it's probably their fail-safe so they can make sure people aren't committing fraud. So by doing that, you'll be able to jump in under your Telegram account. They'll be able to see that you're a real person, and then you'll get your tokens. So just keep that in mind. So when you're ready to do it, you pick how much you want to do, say 0.1 ETH, that's about $161 right now. It'll give you roughly 9,000 Carol. You get your tokens, you receive your extra 30 as soon as the bond is up, but then it'll get stuffed down here and it'll sit here. Now, if you want to create the LP token to earn additional funds, you're going to have a little bit of extra money in your wallet, right? Because LP tokens are liquidity pairs, and so if you've got one token, you need to have an equal amount of another token. Doesn't matter what it is. Let's say you're creating an LP with the Cake token from PancakeSwap and BUSD. You would need $50 worth of one, $50 worth of the other. Them together would be a total of $100. That creates the LP. So if you want to create the LP to earn additional funds, you just have to have the same amount that you put in. So right now, 0.1 ETH, you'd have to have another 0.1 ETH in there to be able to create the LP. But obviously, like I said, I already staked my bond. It is right here. So I want to actually create the LP. I can just click staking. It's going to take me to the stake Carol screen. It's already going to preload what I have in there. And it's already going to preload how much ETH I'm going to need to actually get this done. So I'm going to go ahead and click stake. And as you can see, it's added that down here. So here's my original stake. That's my profit per day. Here's my new stake. That's my profit per day. Obviously, since the token price has been going up, I didn't get as many Carol tokens this time for the same amount of money. So that's important to remember. If you want to getting in earlier will help you earn a little bit more, assuming that the token price continues to increase. My profit per day is at 2.71%. I've got my base of 2%, 0.44 on the liquidity bonus. I've got a hold bonus of 0.25 and a personal bonus of 0.02. So I'm building this up. And as you can see, total liquidity just in the last few days is up about 150,000. So we're starting to see some serious growth. They've also just introduced this, of course, doesn't help the protocol, but I always like dark mode. It was just a little bit too dark for me to do my videos. You can see it blacks out my face for the most part, but I do like dark mode because I stare at the screen all day and it's just a little easier on the eyes, but that's available if you love that. But this one is turning out to be a gem. So like I said, I plan to increase this position again, probably next week. I'll use changenow.io to bridge my funds over, so I've got them available on ETH on base. I'll swap for my Carol. When I do that, I'll only swap a portion of my ETH because I want to be able to actually go back in and bond it. I'll get my tokens, it'll stuff them down here. Of course, at the end, I'll get my additional percentage. That basically locks it up for 30 days. Then I'll click on it and I will add my ETH to create the liquidity pair. It's gonna stuff it down here and I'm gonna earn some additional funds. So far I'm super happy with this one. If you have any questions, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, my last video on Carol, it's got a really similar thumbnail. If you're curious about how to get in, that one's really step-by-step. I don't think you can miss anything there. It's pretty self-explanatory. Shows you how to link up to the base chain, shows you how to convert and bridge your currency over so you can purchase it, and then you're gonna be earning Carol, which you can swap out for Ethereum. If you guys know me, super bullish on Ethereum, particularly in the next bull market. So this is something I'm just building up. Same thing with like Richie's Miner, that's in Matic on Polygon. Super bullish on that network and token. So I'm probably just gonna let this add up and then sit there. There's a couple other protocols out there that are like that, which I really wanna just own those tokens for the long term. So I'll at least let this build up, and then whatever I make from it, I'll at least split it in half and put some over in my cold storage wallet that I don't plan on touching until the next bull run. Keep in mind that if you're kind of apprehensive to get into stuff right now, that can be a good thing, but it also means we're probably near max pain. So don't forget that this may be the time we're gonna wanna accumulate some tokens, because when the next bull run happens in 12 to 18 months, who knows, but it should be somewhere maybe around that range. It should start really picking up. That's when everyone else will come back in and start buying a bunch of tokens. And so just make sure that if that's your plan and you want to make a bunch of money in crypto, like everyone does in every bull run, make sure that you're buying during the bear market and just stuffing some away. So this is my way to generate ETH. I'm going to stuff more into this protocol to make my position larger, and then I'm going to start pulling out. And like I said, I'm going to save a lot of it for this next bull run. But that's it for today. There's more on the roadmap, so I'll keep covering this one. I've been getting a lot of requests to cover it. Hey, when are you doing the next video? Or this is happening or that's happening. So it seems like the community is pulling for this one. So it's nice to see some good community support there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 2, 3, 4 more really good protocols come out of base chain. So for me, knowing that base chain is probably going to be big, this was my first little intro to a protocol actually on the base chain. So far it's been a really good learning experience. But that's it for today. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy investing.